Hello and welcome to Experiencing Love. I'm your host, Philip Jocks, and I'm so glad that you're here. I want to use this time as a quick check-in. How are you doing? How have you been? Has everything been going all right? Has there been anything recently that's been a little bit challenging or getting in your way a bit? How have you been treating yourself lately? I hope you're being kind. I hope you're being helpful. I hope you're being compassionate. And I hope you know just how deserving you are of all those things. I checked in with myself just recently. I wanted to see how I was doing, how I was feeling. I've noticed that these past few days have been better than most. Not because of some result or some outcome that I'm creating, but because I've actually taken time for myself. I've taken a few days to relax a bit. And I don't mean relax in the way of not doing anything. I mean more so in the way that I'm not letting myself get super stressed. I'm not letting myself feel so pent up and upset about what I do or do not have. No, instead, I've just let myself be in the present moment, accept it all, just for right now. I think feeling those two very different sets of emotions both have their role. There have been so many times in my life that I wouldn't be able to change or I wouldn't be able to take massive steps or massive action if I wasn't feeling extremely upset, if I wasn't feeling almost resentful with myself that my life doesn't look the way I want it to look. I've also learned that it could be super hurtful to myself to stay there. I can't stay in that discontent mode forever because at a certain point, it just weighs me down. That's why I don't want you to continuously weigh yourself down. If you're always happy, well then that may just lead to complacency. Now I want to say, I don't think there's anything wrong with feeling any certain type of way for however long you do, because ultimately my perspective is it's up to you how you want to feel and how you want to experience your life on a day-to-day is none of my business. If you want to make it my business and ask for support, ask for advice, then I'm happy to join. I'm happy to help. I'm happy to do what I can, but I won't make it my business. So if you want to feel that discontent feeling or you want to feel happy and complacent with where you are, then by all means do it. I'm here to help the people who do want something different and provide information and entertainment to those who just want to watch. Those who just want to take in information for later. Because know this, I do a little bit of everything. All of the sides that I just mentioned, I do it. There's stretches, periods of times where I am complacent, where I'm all right exactly where I'm at. Maybe I've pushed myself for a different length of time and I'm a little bit tired. So in those moments, kind of like how I've been the last few days, I take it easy. I embrace where I'm at and use it to rebuild my endurance, rebuild my stamina, especially my creative stamina. The past few days, I've been really working on my sleep and getting back to a sleep routine that I could feel happy with, that I could be proud of. My downfall in my sleep in the weeks beforehand, that was because I was so focused on other areas and on pushing myself that I didn't check in with myself. I didn't see that I was actually doing really bad. I was feeling really burnt out. And admittedly, it took someone else pointing it out to me for me to even notice. Things would have gotten worse. And honestly, when they did point it out, it actually did get worse before it got better. It had to get that way. It got to the point where I was going to sleep at 8:30 in the morning, which is bizarre to me. I was seeing the sunrise at the end of my day and then staying up in the sun for a bit before ultimately just taking a nap. It was just a bunch of midday naps. When I say a bunch, I mean one long midday nap for many days in a row. If you've ever gone through something like that, I guess I'm just trying to share that I get it. I know what it's like. I know what you're feeling. And it sucks. It's not a great feeling. I was using this excuse that, oh, I'm a night owl. I'm meant to do this. While I do acknowledge I enjoy staying up late and sleeping in a bit more, I did take it too far. I really did. And my body, all my systems were all out of whack. I was not feeling my best. I was not doing my best. I was not performing my best. In the 3 simple days where I've started to retrain my mind, retrain my body, I've been flooded with imagination and creativity, and I forgot how good that felt. I forgot how good it felt to be as close to 100% as I can be. I know there's another gear that I could still reach. I know that there's another level. I've been there before, and it does require just having a few more of my areas of life closer on track. Being diet, exercise, relationships, all of them are important. All of them play their role. And I've neglected almost all of them. So starting with sleep is just the start. And I plan to get back at it. I plan to get back to it. And all of that is just from checking in, seeing how I'm doing. So how are you doing? Is there something that you need to be honest about? Is there something you need to give yourself recognition for? Maybe you've been pushing yourself really hard. Have you celebrated your wins recently? Have you stopped and wondered, how am I rewarding myself for everything that I'm doing? One thing I often find difficult to accept, I have to say this part slowly so I can say it right. I find it difficult to accept when someone tells me that they're holding off their celebrations to a later time, or they're holding off rewarding themselves to a later time. I guess this has to do with moderation. I'm not really looking for balance, but there is some moderation in that rewarding yourself all the time is also not the answer. And never rewarding yourself is also not the answer. But with most people I talk to, a common theme is not rewarding yourself enough for the hard work that you're doing. And maybe it's also important to define what a reward is. Because a real reward doesn't go against your goals. I'll say that again. A real reward doesn't go against your goals. If you're trying to lose weight and you just hit that milestone, a proper reward is not to just go out and have a cheat meal and eat all the calories you want and to skip exercise or whatever you've been doing in order to lose that weight. If you have a goal to save money for a house and you just hit a milestone of being able to afford a house, a proper reward isn't to buy some extravagant or lavish gift, isn't to take that hard-earned money and spend it. Because there's so many different ways to reward yourself. There's so many things that you can do that don't go against your goals, but still help you feel the enjoyment that life has to offer. One of the scariest things I heard was when someone told me that, or should I say someone advised me, that they stayed in a job that they hated for 35 years to get to retirement because retirement is now great, and that I should think about doing the same. I should consider getting a job that pays well and covers all those necessities, covers all my basic needs, so that for me it would now be 45 years, I can retire and take it easy. The reason that was so frightening to me was about this I almost want to call it like a false arrogance that I would need to have to think that 45 years of my life are guaranteed. In truth, I've only made it 23 so far. That is my lifetime. And so the question is, survive 2 more of my lifetimes before I reward myself. If I'll be honest, the real frightening thing would be to be in a job for 44 years where I hate my life. I hate my life because my job became my life, or jobs usually become our lives because we spend 40 plus hours a week doing our job and commuting and all that stuff. Again, only to hit that 44th year and then I lose my life. I just spent the last 44 years unhappy, unfulfilled. I just spent the last 44 years with regret. Maybe that last year, 2 years, it was with anticipation, but still never quite enjoying what life has to offer. Maybe that's for some people. Maybe that way of thinking works for other people. For me, I vowed to live a life without regrets. And the only times that I've ever even felt something close to regret was the moments in life when I knew my soul, my body, and my mind were telling me to do something and I didn't do it. I look at my past now and I don't regret any of it because a lot of the decisions I made were made because I lacked some knowledge or I lacked some information. Then I got the knowledge later and I made a different choice. And I accept that I needed to go down that path to learn those things. But there have been a few key pivotal points in my life where there was this opening and there was an opportunity in front of me. And without a doubt, it was terrifying to jump through that opening. But I knew in those moments that if I didn't jump, I would live in regret. Those moments taught me so much because without a doubt, jumping through those openings, my life became more difficult. It became more challenging. And there's nobody that I could blame but myself. And yet I was more fulfilled. Yet I was feeling happier. I was feeling grateful because at least in those moments, I knew that I made a decision for myself. I didn't make a decision because someone else told me to do something. I didn't make a decision to make someone else happy. I did it with this full belief that this is for me and I know this is the right path. I am still knee deep in that journey now, and I will be for the rest of my life. But I know that this way of thinking is more rare than you can imagine. And I say that because I only know a handful of people who live this way. Now, again, it's not the only way to live, and I know many other people who have many other extraordinary talents and extraordinary outcomes. But what I'm saying is that I've spent years of my life looking for people who are like me. I've spent years of my life looking for people who think like I do, who behave similar to how I do. I don't expect twins. I don't expect carbon copies of myself. But I do expect a level of relentlessness with pursuing what their vision, their purpose, their dream life is. Of course, the people that I most often see who are like this, they've already made it. These are the influencers. These are the people who've devoted their lives to helping others. These are the people who make love a pivotal part of their life instead of fear. These are the people who provide and protect. These are the people who are kind, caring, and compassionate, not to get something, but to give something. I obviously think about celebrities and influencers who seem like this, at least by the brand and the appearance they put on. But when I really think about it, I notice just how many examples there are of everyday people doing the same thing. I know they exist. I know they're out there because I exist. And I'm out here. I never kid myself to believe that I'm the only one who is the way I am. I've been on a journey. And yes, nobody's going to be exactly like me, but I know people are on their journeys. And when I meet these people and I connect with them, it's like our souls experience love at first sight. It's not that type of physical love, sexual love, that infatuation. It's more of a deep appreciation for that person and where they've been and where they're going. So where are you? Where have you been? Or let me check again. How are you doing? Are you being kind to yourself? Are you supporting yourself on your journey? Are you listening to yourself and jumping through the openings? Even if you think it's scary, even if you think that it's a dumb idea, but your soul tells you it's right. Are you jumping? Do you trust yourself? I trust you. I trust you, and I believe that when you make that jump, everything will be okay. I won't say it'll be simple. I won't say it'll be easy, but without a doubt, if you listen to that voice deep inside, it'll be 100% worth it. You deserve the life you've always imagined. With all the hard work that you're putting in, whether on yourself, in your job, in school, in your relationships, in your fitness, in your health. Maybe you're just putting in a lot of work in getting up in the morning. And I don't even mean getting up out of bed. I just mean choosing to be awake. If that's a big task for you right now, and you did it today, then let me be the first to congratulate you. Let me be the first to tell you that I'm really happy for you, and I think you should be proud. It starts with these little wins and celebrating yourself a little bit at a time, giving yourself a reward. Go out on a walk. Say hi to someone you've never said hi to. To see a smile, give a smile, because the world deserves a little bit more of you, and you deserve to feel that love. And I think that's enough for today. I think you have a bit to think about. I think you have love to feel. And I think you have openings to jump through, whatever they may be. I hope you have a splendid rest of your day. Remember to always fill up with the love. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one. I love you.